Yaffa, are you there?
Can you hear me? The call got dropped.
My call dropped too. I just called back into the show.
Okay. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. For now, I have like 2 bars, 3 bars. You know, I don't even have to move the phone. It'll just go from bars to 0 bars, just straight flat line. But I will do what I can to get through this show, okay? At this point, was there something you wanted to say before I go on?
Do you want if it's too difficult, we can end it like in an hour?
We'll see. Let's play it by ear and see what happens.
Okay.
If it continues to drop, and I'm not going to know if you guys can't hear me. Somebody's going to have to text me or notify me that I cannot be heard. It's not like we're having a phone conversation where you're talking to me and then I realize I can't hear you, and I'm going, hello, hello, and you're going, hello, hello, or hi, are you there or there? It's just like a monologue, and I have no clue what you all hear. I just know when I look at my phone, if I see no bars, that it's usually a problem. So let's see how it goes. Okay?
Okay.
Thanks for playing the music. Are you well? Is all well? C-Star.
I'm fine.
I said,
I'm
are
fine.
you all well? Is everything well? See, that's what I'm
I'm
talking
fine.
about.
I have mute the mic and unmute it. It takes a while to get it back from unmute.
Oh, okay. Well, go on and mute back out. Let me try to recall what the bloody blazes I was in the process of trying to say. Okay. For those of you that, whatever it is I do or don't do with phone numbers and contacts and emails, I will update it to my website. I would go into a free service, but I really don't like a lot of the free services because they're control freaks, and I don't like control freaks. An individual was telling me, why don't we set you up a Gmail account? And I'm like, I dislike Gmail more than all other free email account services. I don't know if I've told my listeners before. I know I've told some of them. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it on the show. There have been times in the past when people would send me something and I would forward it to everyone in my email address book, and that's from the Myrakata B one. So, and I haven't done that in a long time. People haven't received emails from me in probably a year because I didn't realize at the time that I was doing this because I'm nocturnal. So it may be 2, 3, 4, or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm sending out emails to people. And I'll send out emails, and I'll send out emails. And I, being on the computer, and an individual that basically stays kind of out of the system to a certain extent, meaning I don't know what's going on out there. I didn't even realize that people were receiving emails on their cell phones. I had no idea that that was going on until probably the middle of 2011. And when I realized that people were getting emails on their phones, that's when I stopped sending everybody emails. I stopped sending everybody emails because I'm like, I don't know who's doing computers, who's doing phones or what. Because I was sending out a bunch of emails one night and somebody emailed me back from their phone, and I didn't know it was from a phone. They were like, enough already. Because, again, when I send an email from my computer thinking I'm sending emails to everyone else's computer, being completely oblivious to the fact that people could even receive an email on the phone. I knew about texting, but I had no clue that people were getting whole emails on their phones. That shows you how in the dark ages I am about this stuff. But and even my dad said something to me once. I was sending emails. He was like, you sure keep late hours. You sure burn the midnight oil. And I'm like, well, what are you talking about? He's like, you be blowing up my phone with these emails. So that's, between him and the listener that was like, enough already, I decided enough already. I'm not sending anybody at all any more emails. I don't care how powerful the information. Because people send me stuff and like, oh, you should forward this to everybody. I don't forward shit to anybody. If I forward something, it may be to Lady my aunt or 1 or 2 people, maybe, you know, the 5 or 10 people that are close in the circle, but I just really don't send anybody anything because I don't know who the hell I'm waking up. Because when I send out a text message or an email, thinking it's going from my computer to another computer, and it goes from my computer to a cell phone at 3:30 in the morning or 2:30 in the morning, and I do 2 or 3 of those, every time I'm doing it, people's cell phones are ringing or waking them up, and it totally disturbs their entire capacity to get their quickening in. So I never did do emails much during the day. It just doesn't happen. I don't have that kind of time. Usually I don't have time to sit down to a computer and do anything until somewhere between midnight and 5 in the morning, and that's when I send out emails. So I no longer send them, and I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, Sister Yaffa, she doesn't talk to me anymore. I'm not angry with anybody. I'm doing everything in my power to not disturb or bother anyone, you know. Just like, for example, someone sent me, I always get all kind of stuff, you know, and by the time someone calls me with it, I have to say, oh, yeah, I heard about it. I received that in an email, you know, about like the little sister that was 19, raped and set afire, what is his name, Dick Gregory, findings on Trayvon Martin. And again, if it's audio, I can't do anything with it, so I don't even try to watch or listen to YouTube or whatever unless somebody says, you don't need to have a sound card to watch this. When somebody sent me something that was very important about the human embryo tissues and whatever that are being utilized in food and drinks and sodas and juices, and I was like, God, you know, it's worse than I thought. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we're going to make all of y'all sinners no matter what the hell. You don't eat pork? Fine. We'll put it in the cheese as enzymes, and we'll put it in the bread as mono and diglycerides, and we'll put it in the cookies, and we'll put it in the candy as gelatin. And, you know, people are running around here that don't eat pork, don't even know half the stuff they eat contains the stuff, but is under some name that they do not know because they haven't done any research to look up what certain words mean to know, oh, this is pork. Or they have looked up the words and it doesn't really say in that dictionary because, unlike me, they don't have a string of multiple different kinds of dictionaries, so they can look at different things and go, okay, well, this means this, and it says this is this word. It's like, okay, what's this word? Why isn't it in this dictionary? Well, let me look in this one. And eventually I get through tracing it down, and I find, oh, okay, pig snouts, pig hooves, you know, pigtails. Like, gee whiz, they're giving this stuff to people. But it was a very powerful email about a list of products. Name the products that contain this stuff. And by the time I do the show, I'm usually not on the internet or not at the internet. You know what I'm saying? So I can't, unless it's on my phone, I just really can't even give it to the listeners because I'm usually nowhere near a computer, and you know, I'm not going to even have internet access for another week yet. So don't bother sending me any emails because I cannot check them. I cannot look at them. I don't have the capacity to do it on my phone, so I'm not going to know what it is you have to say. And by the time I get online, I will be so backlogged in emails, I may or may not get to yours. I may not ever see it. It could wind up in spam or who knows where. So I'm saying that, you know, I don't send out any more emails to people. People used to get emails from me every day. And I just do like things. I just go through, and everybody in my email address book under Myra Carter B would get one. You know, certain other email accounts, I wouldn't do it. If you're in other accounts, I wouldn't do it. But I don't even do it from the Myra Carter B because that's long-standing access for less. But it's maxed out, and I'm getting ready to cancel them. They started out as, I forget what. They started out as something really cheap, was free. Then it went to like $4.95 a month, and then they got bought out by, you know, everybody wants to buy out everybody smaller. They got bought out by Earthlink. And, you know, as soon as Earthlink took over, even though they were charging $14 or $15, they raised all of us from $4.95 a month to $9.95 a month. And then they went from that, I think, to $10.95 a month. And I think they're getting ready to raise it again. And it's like, I'm done. I started out with some free shit, and now I have to pay almost $20 for emails that should still be free, but people are on control freak agendas. But those of you that have my website, yaffabay.com. Y-A-F, like Frank, another F, A, B like boy, E-Y, yaffabay.com. Under the contact info, which I only put there within the last maybe 6 months, certainly not more than even a year, and I don't even think it's been a year, but I finally put contact information out there for people to email me and phone me or even make donations. I'm getting rid of all of that stuff. You can still call. It's better to do by phone. The primary reason it's a good thing the brother gave me the money to transfer the Internet service, because I was seriously going to go to direct TV, to tell you the truth. But the only reason it's a good idea is because there are people all over the planet that contact me via email because they cannot call on these international phone calls from Germany or South Africa or Egypt or Japan or Canada or other, Haiti. I'm hearing from people in places that I can't get back to you. Jamaica, I can't get back to you. I'm going to have to see what I can do about that. I've told these people to get a magic jack and then we can talk all day. But I guess they don't know what that means or what it is. To me, it's a no-brainer. But I'm about to drop off the grid. Anybody that has contact information can always contact me. If you have my cell phone number, you can always call it still. I still take calls 24/7. The last week or two, I haven't really gotten back to people much because I've been just busy, trying to be out within my 30-day written time frame. People thought I was getting evicted. They're like, we didn't know you were getting put out. I'm like, I'm not getting put out. As a matter of fact, my landlord didn't want me to move. He's like, I don't want you to go. I'm like, don't worry. Wherever I move, I'll still be in one of your properties. So I just moved from one of his properties to another. It was to the point that I had a neighbor once that he had moved in there that was upsetting me, and I was ready to move and threatening to leave. He said, well, what if I move her? I will move her. I don't want you leaving. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a good tenant. Nobody complains. I don't make a lot of noise. I pay my rent on time every single month. Never been late, ever. I think the last time I was late, my 28-year-old was probably 5. You know what I'm saying? But it's just one of those kind of things. I try to do well, and I try to leave the apartments clean. Even the other landlord that I was at, and I know I'm prattling on, but the other landlord where I was, he was like, you've always been a great tenant. I know you didn't get along with the neighbors in the front and back, but I, like you, I've never had a problem. If you ever need anything, a reference or anything, let me know. I mean, I moved out of that place on I think I did a walkthrough with him on Thursday. By Monday, he had moved somebody in there because when I leave out, I try to leave the apartment move-in ready. You know what I'm saying? I usually leave the apartment as good or generally better than it was when I moved into it. Because I just don't, when I move in, I don't like doing a lot of shit. So I feel like the next person shouldn't have to do a lot of shit. And if there's any holes or busted shades or torn up blinds, the landlord shouldn't have to replace that crap. If I damage it, it's my responsibility to replace it. And that's exactly and precisely what I do. Now, if you're getting evicted, the hell with them. Hey, it's all I can do to get my own ass out of here in a timely fashion. But keep the contact information you have. Check the website every now and again, and we'll see what's going on. At this point in time, because of the way the payment schedule goes for this show, that is handled. Blog Talk takes that every month on the 23rd. So I was looking at the way the Thursdays fall with that for the month of June, because remember I said I do not want to talk beyond June. Actually, I don't want to talk now. I'm tired of talking. But I'm continuing to talk because I have to close this up. I have to tie it in a nice knot so there was a beginning, a middle, and an end. And I haven't really done the ending and closed it up and tied it all together and linked it back to where we started because I have to tie everything back together so that all the dots are connected. But because there are, I think, 5 Thursdays in May, that's kind of going to screw me up. So instead of like 2 shows when I do this show every other Thursday, for the month of May, you guys are going to get 3 shows, and that throws me off for June. So it pushes me into July, and if I try to tie it off until the last closing on these bills, I'll be still talking in August. and I'm not trying to go there. So at this